Hey everybody, Aaron here. Welcome back to another anime review. So, if you know anything about me, you know that I have seen a lot of the old classic anime actually. Um, you know, what's funny was as I grew up into anime and as I watched a lot of anime, my parents would talk to me about the original conception of anime, like the stuff they saw way back when. So like Gigantor, Speed Racer, and Voltron for that matter. And there was one though that always resonated with me because I used to think it was so cool. I mean, I now look at it and I think sometimes a little corny because of obviously it hasn't really aged that well, but it's still a timeless classic. That was Astro Boy. Now, Astro Boy, say what you will, but it's been something that has actually been tried to recreated and kind of just reimagined over and over again over the course of the years. Ironically enough, even though it's so old, I mean, because it came from the 60s around that roughly, you know, it's been reimagined, it's been recreated, touched up in terms of everything. It's, had a movie that came out not that long ago, which wasn't that good, but it was a movie nonetheless that was something out of left field. I mean, we had in I think it was 2003, we had a whole series of Astro Boy that was on Cartoon Network, which was actually pretty good. If you want to watch Astro Boy released in the modern age, go watch that because it's actually pretty badass. A lot of cool fights in that. But we're not here to talk about Astro Boy. We're here to talk about the prequel that was never shown or never created until now. That is Adam the Beginning, Episode 1. Now, I really, really thought this episode was an amazing start to the series because what I feel it does so well is it introduces a lot of concepts that if you've seen Astro Boy, you already kind of have an idea of, like characters, Umataro and Hiroshi. Now, these are actually, named different in the English terms. I always forget their real names, but essentially it was the guy with black hair. He had very long black hair in the original Astro Boy stuff, and then the guy with a very big nose who was Hiroshi. I forgot what his actual English name was. Even though I am a huge fan, I tend to forget names hard. But like that's something that happens to me, unfortunately. But you know, Astro Boy was such a cool thing that I think that the concept of having a prequel to it, like to see where these characters came from and the world of Astro Boy, because Astro Boy set in a very futuristic city, like a landscape where robots rule over everywhere, and there's androids. Obviously, humans are still the main creators, but it's something that you can almost see in our future if we ever get that advanced, which is kind of cool. So, Adam the Beginning though focuses on Hiroshi and Umataro, and kind of is the beginning to how Astro Boy was even conceived or where his heart lied. Because what's interesting is Adam is a robot they're creating in college actually, and what they're doing with this robot is they're trying to make him into an advanced AI at the same time. So he does things with his own thought process, not because he's ordered to. Because so far, all robots that exist in the current age are ordered to do something. Like if you tell them to go and walk forward, they walk forward. If you tell them to, do a specific command over and over again, they will do that command. But Adam actually works off of artificial intelligence, and we see that being used when an incident happens during a robot fair, where the giant robot actually had like a fire that had started internally, and if it would have gotten out of control, the robot would have exploded, killing hundreds of people because it was at a parade. But Adam saw that because one of the creators had actually brought him there and wanted to see what he would do if he can actually even take orders or even try to do anything in the real world. But luckily enough, when Adam saw that was going to happen, he jumped in and saved the day by destroying a water tower next to the robot, causing the fire to go out. And we see that Adam's really strong. I mean, one thing that was cool is he has a fist that apparently can keep shooting punches out really fast, almost like a jackhammer, which is really cool. And that is how he saved the day. But he wasn't ordered to do that. He did that because he realized the dangers that were awaiting the people around if that would have went too far. So it goes to show you that this is the conception of Astro Boy. And I really want to see how Adam will be from now on. Are they going to cause him to always do the right thing? Because unfortunately, and it was really sad for me, I mean, like, I don't know how many fans will understand it. Probably people that watch this anime will be like, oh, that was kind of corny at the end, where each of the scientists, because they have weirdly shaped noses, are squeezing each other's noses and laughing about how they're geniuses, and it's like a very nice camaraderie, but it seems really corny. You guys don't understand that in Astro Boy, both of those guys are on different sides of righteousness. One is a person who stands for righteousness in the way of humans, and the other one stands for the righteousness of robots. And he does it in a very evil, mean way. So it's kind of, I want to see how this will lead, unfortunately, to that, inevitable kind of fate for these characters, because right now they seem like such best friends. And they talked about the Astro Boy before, where they used to be best friends and they used to work on robots together. So it's not like this is such a weird perceived, concept. But I want to see what took the guy and made him go from, you know, trying to help people to going into nefarious ways of making sure robots were the ones that reign supreme, not humans. You know, it's going to be interesting. I'm definitely going to be here for the ride. I will probably add this to my Sunday slots because I noticed that for most part airing it on Saturday would be kind of impossible already, given that there's so much stuff that airs. So if you want to see reviews of Adam the beginning, you definitely check my channel out on Sunday. It'll be roughly around the same time as right now, maybe earlier than that. Anyways, guys and girls, I will talk to you later. Happy Easter once again. If you haven't seen my previous review of Recritters Episode 2, go check that out if you want. If not, no big deal. Have a great, blessed day, everyone. Bye-bye.